Kia ora ngā hoa ma. Today's video is it's just a quick recap on terrariums, just to show you how our terrariums are doing. And I'll put a link up here somewhere to show you what the original video looked like. So, if you went to the link that was up there and had a look at the terrarium videos, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how one of them's going. So this is my student's one. The reason I'm showing you this one is because this is probably the most successful one. It's growing a lot of vegetation in it. You can see that in there. Now, the vegetation in here isn't any plant specifically in particular. We didn't plant this stuff in here. This is the macrofauna that was originally in the dirt. Now, what I mean by that is I went and strategically grabbed a whole bunch of dirt that I knew had stuff already growing in it, removed all that plant material, and then stuck it into there. So the soil that I use in the video actually has quite a lot of macro and microfauna in it. Now, some of them, this one, not this one, but others, have algae rounds. There's like a lot of things going on in there, but this is a really good example of how that experiment works. So in a terrarium, basically what you're trying to recreate is the natural ecosystem, being the water cycle. So we've got in here, there's condensation, okay, to a certain extent, potentially on the cap, the water falling down. You can see the spots running down, precipitation. There'll be infiltration, where the water is stored within the dirt layer and creating a groundwater layer inside there. Obviously we can't see that groundwater because it's so minimal, but it's in there, so it's infiltration. To a certain extent, there'll be transpiration, where the trees are sweating, okay, they're getting really hot and losing some of the moisture through their leaves. But there's also evaporation, and we know there's evaporation because the inside is getting foggy and misty, and that water is climbing up and condensing on the inside of the jar. So this is a really cool experiment, and we've just let these go for probably the better part of the last 4 weeks. And they've just been sitting on the windowsill doing their thing. To let you know too, I can't show you because there's so much condensation and evaporation in there. Some of the kids' apple seeds that we put in them initially too have started to sprout. So only some, and it'd be, I mean, if we had time on our hands and I had a time machine and jump in the time machine, plant the seed and see what it turns out as, it'll be really interesting to know what particular kind of apple that was, because we put, if you looked at the last video, quite a variety of different apples in there. So only a few of them sprouted, so one would stand to reason that there's only one particular species of apple tree that's growing, because not all of them would. So yeah, I'd love to know that, but you know, time. I could only have 20 years to spare to find out what kind of apple tree it is. But yeah, you can see in there, that's basically what happens. So this is just a cool project that if you wanted to do this at home. Get some grass seed, even chuck that in there if you've got a spare grass seed at home. Plants, you know, I know the other class did bean sprouts. Okay, so yeah, cool project. This is just a bit of an update. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to subscribe to the channel in general, hit subscribe. But for now, ka kite, and I'll see you next time at Mr. Ashley's place.